presentation of ESPN on ABC.
Hello, welcome to Minecart City and Racers beginning of Los Angeles. And before race cars overtime with the racers on the two drivers, the champion, ladies and gentlemen, on the cars overtime with gentleman driver, Damon Wayans Jr., King and Michael Key, and Jeff Chase, and more for this every time a chance. We have the drivers over the front and the back to the front and the pit stop and the race cars and every time a chance. We have the supercharging and the videos. The first one, Mike, and more for this new final champion, Jake Johnson. And before the race cars and because ladies and gentlemen, and Jake Johnson, start your engines. And before he's gonna drivers ready, lights out, the run out under the car to speed. And they perform the cars every time with the chance. We have the speed anyone at the kind. And before the coming for the speed at any time with the chance. We have the cars a chance. And here he is. This is gonna be run out. And before actually because every time with the chance would have the cars every time. We need the speed anyone happen to believe the cars on the pit stop. And before the championship on every one time. There we go. And because every time with Damon Wayans Jr. And because the Keegan Michael Key's gonna speed. And before any one time. And then lots and all. Before and actually because any one time in the race cars at any time. And really everywhere. Because every time of the chance we have it is Jack Quire on the before in the race cars and he find it with the speed. Any time of the chance we can go from this cars in the championship and before it's gonna crash any one time. Because everyone and before the cars is gonna pit stop and then because any time of this here goes again and here goes. Any one time it go to finish any one time and he goes in. There goes on the blue car from this every time of the chance of the BMW on the car and it before and then the race cars any time of the chance. Oh, that's on the lose because I'm against. Oh, this is very fast. This car, this is very fast. But the before out on the car and the before another car to the pit stop and then out to the slow because of very fast. Oh my gosh, what happened to bleed this? And before the cars and the chance, we have the motor speed, and before every time in the motor speed way, and before the cars when it's in stopping in the pit stop any one time, there it goes. And if there is the railway before every time, and because every time the speed on the car, Jeff Chase is actually Damon Wayans Jr. He have the pit stop, and there he goes to check it to fix it, the tires, and before the wheelies on the cars. And before the driver to the wheelie and because here it goes again and because here goes the driver. Oh, that's very gross. And actually the driver over time. Now Brian because every time in a chance we have a believe at this is not to move. Oh my gosh, what happens? Believe in this. We got a driver anytime. Oh my gosh, you actually pieces. Pissed me off. Look at that. Before the cars and the speed and the chance of the championship and the cars. Oh my gosh, we have to believe this jump. He goes into the race cars anytime. Oh, that's very gosh. And the before the car from this crash anyone. And the before the car is his very fastest end of the world. And before the Los Angeles, we have the speed and in the time of the champion. And it goes any time of the pit stop. Anyone to come from the car. And there it goes. And before the cars, any time of the chance. And it goes and it Damon Wayans Jr. and Jace. And it before Keegan Michael Key. And before this time. Oh, this very crash. And before the drivers and on the cars. And the speed and the minecart speed. And before overtime, it is a chance of the crash anyone. And before they got to use the crash. And before the comment of the pit stop, and in time and the chance of the people is lovers. And he goes and the chance we have the champion on the 100 lap. And before the 50 lap, and because every time we have the 60 lap, and we have the pit stop, and then we go, oh, then we crash because every time. He got the iron before onto the car. This every time. Here he goes. Here he goes. The speed. And here it goes. Oh my god, actually, oh yeah, actually, because every time with the chance we have the cars. And if you go over the actually with the speed, every time they fix them at the pit stop. And there it goes. Damon Wayans Jr. Because every time with the chance, here it goes the speed. Anytime. Here it goes. That's right, because it, oh my gosh, what happened? Believe it is on the driver cars. How Molly, what is that? This is very crash on the car if it did any once until time. And if before another crash on the car. Because every time in the champion it is, and even before the car is crash. And before it's every time in the jams. And how more before every time in the chance would have the speedway and on the cars on the dark sea. And before every time in the chance of speed and in the winners. Jake Johnson before the first one, before in the front of the force and in front of the speed, and anywhere time with the downforce, here it goes again. Damon Wayans Jr. and it goes in time. Drivers and the time of the gens. We have to believe it's time of the car and the time of the chance. We have the champion any one time. In the common form this car, any time of the chance we have to believe it. And the cars is gonna speed it on the lines and before in the 70 laps and it perform on the cars and if it speed anytime of the chance we have to believe this. Here it goes the nitro speed. Oh my gosh, how many species is here. And that's right, because under the cars of the speed anytime it is not to start your engine before the action with the car. It is actually not the speed. That's not the speed under the cars of racing. And before and out of the race, onto the cars, onto the speed, 81 to time the ground. However, before the driver's time to drive the cars, anytime, and here he goes, the time of the championship, here he goes again. The how the many actually, because every time it chance. Now, however, because every time the how dare you, because of the championship. And here it goes the pit stop. And then here it goes the timing ground. And here it goes. Damon Wayans Jr. because Wayne is not the race car. But because knew the pit stop and it comes from and the car Rob Riggle and before actually the pit stop and the fixing of the tires. And before, however, before they just start your engine, here it goes. It's not the driver because every time I ground, oh, that's very close. And I'm gonna perform the car. That's not very, that's closely not, okay? Before I have to believe this lap under the race cars and before this time, here he goes away. Oh my gosh, the Jake Johnson actually because we did it. And having to believe this every time in the chance we have the car and they fixing it. And the Damon Wayans Jr. and Don Cheeto before and on the car from the speed anytime in the chance. Here it goes again on the other. Oh, the very crosses before the crash onto the car. Oh, that's very closely not. And if Wayans Jr. before every time in the chance, Damon is where he's not the car with the tires. It's not the started jet engine before what happened. Believe it this. It believe it the end of the winner. Oh my gosh, he's gonna speed out in any one time. Oh no, he actually just crashed and before any time it is up and the car is time's up and they actually a new best new record. And before after this time in the hill climb. And before and it's actually a hill climb of the racing cars and before this time in the chance for the Formula 1. And before the NASCAR in Indianapolis 500. And before the championship. Oh my gosh, this is actually started actually. This is actually the crash and actually the winners. And before who's wins? Jake Johnson! He wins, Jake Johnson! Before the one happened this, Don Cheeto is lose. And before every time of the chance, we have these winners whose cars every time of the chance. And here it goes again. Oh, guys, that's very gross. And the performer of the car is his winners. Don Cheeto is coming from the car. Rob Riggle and the lose. Before actually the cars and any time of the championship have to be actually this pit stop. And it goes again. Let's get a commercial break. Okay, we have the speed on the championship. And before any time of the chance. Whoa, that's very grossly the car. And before there's the driver's cars every time of the chance. However, performing the cars is a speedway. And what the time, here he goes. He's coming with the speed of cars. And to perform another car for this every time at a chance. We have the speedway, and then one time, oh my gosh, he actually gets crashed. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, we have the crash on the cars. And now Damon Wayans Jr. He goes again. There we go. This is powerful anytime. Now with the form, Keegan Michael Key is not the ready car. There we go. Now take the powerful onto the car. Now let's see if we kick, because and in the kicking of these cars, we have the beautiful onto the cars on the beat at onto the car. And however, because every time at a chance we have a speedway, here he goes. Don Cheeto is this ready. Oh my gosh! And we actually because of fast. Every time at a chance it crashes. What is this crazy nuts every time it ground? And they have it, I believe it's Don Cheeto and Jake Johnson before and having time that Dwayne Johnson is winning all the time. And really, and Don Cheeto is not ready car. Here it goes again. The white team, it wins before the average. Oh, there it is. We had the pit stop and they fixed into the tires. Here it goes again. The first one place and first one before the fixing the tires. Rob Riggle and time and a chance. We have a lead at this time. It's the championship every time. Here it goes. Oh, this is very fast. Oh, that's not the ready before the cars in action. The pit stop and then fixing up to the tires. Oh my gosh, we have to believe this at the gasoline station. And before overtime of the speed on the Las Vegas. And here he goes. Let's start the engine of the car. Now Keegan Michael Key is not ready. And before there's the tires on the speed and the 100 speed. Now and let's see if it's because of the time of the car. Okay, now what's happened? Believe this. Because every time it changes, it's overtime. How moly, what is that? It goes very fast. And the cars of the championship at the tournament and alone in the car. Now with the form of the cars is crash. And every time it chance, we have to believe this winner. Oh no, the Don Cheeto is not ready. And he goes, oh my gosh, Don Cheeto and Jake Johnson before the car from the speed at any time. Here it goes again. And before the Jeff Chase and before the car for the speed and the time of the ghost is not ready. Oh my gosh, here it goes, the powerful, and here it goes. It is very fast. Any time of the Brian only before an action because the drivers on the car and anywhere come from the cars. Anytime of the change of the championship, anyone's time. The car is ready. Before it's actually for this Rob Riggle is not the racing car, it's not the unknown. Before any time and a chance, we have the species under the car. Oh my gosh, before he's coming. Oh, this is winners. And in one time at the pit stop, here he goes. Every time, here he goes. And the winners. There's the winners of cars and the championship anywhere. We have the winners. Who's the wins? And before us, the cars that actually, who's a win? Keegan Michael Key and Jake Johnson. How is it? Who's the championship? Who is the championship? Always is winners. Winner is Jake Johnson. Lose Keegan Michael Key and Damon Wayans Jr. Alright, thanks for watching, guys.